dog wrestling. Caucasian Wolfhound. The Caucasian Shepherd is one of the oldest breeds, an unmatched and magnificent guard dog, created by nature to fight. Where the Caucasian stands, neither man nor beast can pass. This breed has impressed many with its imposing appearance, great physical strength, excellent working qualities, intelligence, and robust health. They also exhibit phenomenal sensitivity. A sleeping pet can catch the slightest rustles and noises and react instantly. They cannot be distracted, bribed, or persuaded. They are always vigilant and fully in control of the situation, ready to sit motionless for hours, watching for intruders. They never bark without a reason. There are two versions of the origin of Caucasian Shepherd dogs. According to the canonical version, these dogs originated from the so-called Tibetan Mastiffs. In ancient China, they were used for hunting and fighting. The first mention of them dates back to 1121 BCE. According to the second version, the homeland of these dogs is the ancient state of Urartu, located on the Armenian highlands. These are modern Armenia, eastern Turkey, northwestern Iran, and the Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic of Azerbaijan. There are images of dogs very similar to Caucasian Shepherds, which guarded the cities and fortresses of Urartu. The rise of Urartu occurred in the 7th century BCE. This means that it can be assumed that these dogs were already in the Caucasus in the 7th century BCE. It must be said that debates about the origin of these dogs have been going on for many years. This is primarily due to intra-breed differences. For example, in Georgia, Caucasians are massive, tall, with elongated bodies. In Armenia, they are light and square-shaped. In Azerbaijan, they distinguish between two types, mountain and lowland. There is a type of Caucasian Shepherd dog in Dagestan, Chechnya, and Kabarda. It is important to note that there are indigenous Caucasian Shepherd dogs, also known as Caucasian Wolfhounds. There are Caucasian Shepherd dogs of cultural breeding, and they differ significantly from each other. The Caucasian Wolfhound has a more voluminous chest, a drier head, stronger bones, and more energetic movements. Apart from appearance, Caucasian Shepherds differ from Caucasian Wolfhounds in character. Wolfhounds are just intimidating by name, but in reality, their temperament is much gentler than that of the Shepherds from cultural breeding. I haven't heard of a single incident of a native attacking a person just like that, especially their owner. For thousands of years, the main role of this watchdog has been to protect sheep from wolves and even bears. And as a result, we got an animal with an amazing guarding instinct. It is a very resilient dog. The living conditions in the flock were only slightly different in their harshness from those of animals in the wild. Natural selection prevailed here, leaving only the most resilient, who feared neither harsh climate nor food scarcity, and who were good at their duties as wolfhounds. When it comes to the Caucasian Shepherd, people always say it's a dog with brains. Its uniqueness lies in the fact that the dog itself filters the level of aggression and distrust towards strangers in its territory. One owner of Caucasian Shepherds says, "I couldn't understand for a long time why my dogs were ready to devour some people while they just looked distrustfully at others. And then I felt the moment. It turns out it's all about my personal trust in a person. If I'm calm, the dogs are quiet. And vice versa. If the dogs are tense, then I need to be on guard." These are very strong, energetic dogs. They know how to sense and identify bad people. Also interesting is the behavior of the Caucasian Shepherd dog at night. If you enter the yard, you won't see him in the dark. The male hides and identifies the person who appears. If someone familiar comes in, he calmly comes out of hiding. But if a stranger sneaks into the yard, he gives them a couple of minutes to settle, not sensing any danger, and only then does a brown wolf shadow appear with a low growl. After that, it depends on the intruder's technique and reaction. A dog should have brains. It should know when to attack, when to scare, and when to remain silent. These dogs work in a specific way, and their priority is their own territory. That is to say, the wolfhound will not do on the platform what it will do in its own perimeter. About 10 years ago, a familiar dog handler told a story about his friend. There was a Caucasian dog with the girl. For 2 years, she diligently took him to the training ground, trying to teach him the command attack. Unsuccessfully, the dog just wouldn't work. One day, while walking the dog in the park, she was attacked by robbers. The dog didn't need a command. The robbers weren't eaten, but were thoroughly bitten. Caucasian Shepherd dogs have different coat colors. Zonal gray is a combination of shades of gray and black colors. White is creamy. Red ranges from light to brown. Brindle, piebald, or spotted are combinations of different colors. The Caucasian Shepherd dog is quite large, with an average height of 75 centimeters. With a powerful muscular build, a big head, and a thick coat, they resemble a bear or a lion.
Teddy bears make it. Make teddy bears. Teddy bears, come on, make teddy bears. Here are the teddy bears. How we make teddy bears. Teddy bears.
The Caucasian Shepherd dogs seem large not only because of their thick fur, they weigh up to 80 kilograms. Many individuals weigh 100 kilograms or more. There are 3 types of Caucasian Shepherd dogs based on fur length, with long fur measuring 10 and 12 centimeters. Intermediate and short-haired, they are also called smooth-haired. Their fur is no more than 6 centimeters long. For example, in this video, you see a white, short-haired Caucasian Ovcharka. You might say that the video doesn't show a Caucasian dog, but instead a Central Asian Shepherd, also known as Alabai. I can respond to that. There is indeed some resemblance with Asians, and they are often confused. However, those who know the difference can tell them apart. The Caucasian dog has a larger head and chest, while the Alabai has longer legs. They also have different eyes, but the easiest way to distinguish them is by their tail. Alabai dogs have their tails docked, so they are short. Caucasian Shepherds don't have their tails docked. They have beautiful, fluffy tails that curl into a ring at the end. While docking tails in puppies is a personal choice for each owner, sometimes you can see an Alabai with an undocked tail. In modern use, it is a guard dog, and also properly a sporting breed. If the nature of a greyhound is made for running, then the Caucasian Shepherd dog is made for fighting. And if there were a wrestling championship among all dog breeds where biting was prohibited, the Caucasian Shepherd dog would undoubtedly be an unbeatable champion. In this respect, there is also some similarity between the peoples of the Caucasus and their dogs. Everyone knows that the Caucasus is famous for its world wrestling champions. Some nations love football, others have different popular sports. In the Caucasus, wrestling is very popular. Some say that Caucasian athletes have a genetic predisposition for wrestling. Compared to other peoples, Caucasians are stronger and broader shouldered, with well-developed backs and shoulders. They are more resilient, tolerate pain well, and are taught courage and fearlessness from childhood. For warriors, the absolute is the cult of physical strength, fortitude, and stamina. But the famous champion from the Caucasus is not only known for fighting. The well-known Khabib Nurmagomedov became an undefeated champion in mixed martial arts. Just like the Caucasian wolfhounds perform at test trials where they can fight and bite and become champions at international competitions. For example, Samurai, the champion of the Super League in the year 2021.
One of the best wolfhounds of our time, in my eyes. 93 kilograms. On a leash, close to 90. A huge male dog, just with endless spirit. An incredibly powerful male dog.
People often argue about who is stronger, the Caucasian Shepherd dog or the Alabai. In terms of character and reaction speed, the Caucasian wins. It is fearless and aggressive, ready to jump on the enemy without unnecessary words. This is a weapon of murder, full of courage and a desire to show who's boss. It's smarter than an Alabai, capable of quickly understanding the opponent's fighting techniques and predicting the next moves. That's why in test trials, the Caucasian Shepherd dog is treated with fear, and not everyone dares to pit their dog against it. However, the Alabai is just a little bigger. It is ready to show its loyalty to its owner, to earn respect and attention, even in this way. It does what the owner tells it to do, and it always does it well. The Asian's reaction is also quick and precise, and his actions are well thought out in advance. He doesn't allow the opponent to take a break, constantly attacking and directing all his power into strikes. His grip is ironclad, making it almost impossible to escape his grasp. Representatives of both breeds have almost equal strength. They are distinguished only by their fighting style, aggressiveness, and desire to please their owner. In different years, either Alibi or Caucasians become champions. What do you think? Who is stronger, Alibi or Caucasian? As I have already mentioned, the main task of the Caucasian Shepherd dog is to protect a flock of sheep from predators such as wolves and bears. In my episode about Alibi, I talked in detail about what a dog can do against a wolf. If you haven't seen that episode yet, be sure to check it out. Everything I said about Alibi is just as true for the Caucasian Shepherd dog. As for bears, if anyone thinks a dog can kill a brown bear, they've listened to too many fairy tales. Look at the size of a bear. It can weigh up to 350 kilograms, which is more than 3 times the weight of a Caucasian dog. A bear standing on its hind legs will tower over the dogs and easily knock one out with a blow from its massive wide paw. The purpose of these dogs is to bark at one bear as a pack, scare it away, and drive it away from the herd, but they won't be able to kill a healthy bear, even as a pack. Caucasian Shepherd dogs mainly do not herd livestock, they only guard it. A dog that actually herds flocks runs countless circles around the sheep, expending an insane amount of energy. But with Caucasians, such tricks do not work. As you remember, the mass of these dogs is very large, so they are very economical with any energy expenditure, with any work. These dogs prefer to lie in the shade as much as possible and rest. However, they cannot be called lazy in any way. They just do not tolerate unnecessary fuss and running around. And this video is proof of my words. The thing is, the owner of this barn has to herd his cows and sheep on his own with a vehicle. In the Caucasus, there are no shepherd dogs at all. There are dogs that guard the herds from predators, both four-legged and two-legged. Unfortunately, there are no dogs capable of herding the flocks from the pasture. Local shepherds dream of getting border collie dogs, so they don't have to drive up and down the hills in a car, pretending to be a herding dog. Comment below if you would like a separate episode about border collies. It's interesting that many Caucasian shepherds do perfectly well without sheepdogs. Instead, they use a goat leader in the sheep flock. The idea is that even the dumbest goat is smarter than the smartest ram. The latter are completely devoid of leadership qualities and prefer to just follow the herd aimlessly, resulting in the sheep wandering off in all directions. Another thing is that goats have a natural tendency to lead, and they gladly take on the role of the leader, while sheep, recognizing him as the main one, follow him anywhere. Anywhere, to where the grass is greener, or back to the pen, including for shearing and even for slaughter. Once upon a time, meat processing plants used to keep a special goat that went to the animal slaughterhouse, and the sheep trustfully followed him, despite being scared by the noise and smell of blood. Such a narrowly specialized expert was called a provocateur goat. Naturally, he himself remained safe and sound. I already have an episode on my channel about the Turkish Kangal Shepherd, the Irish Wolfhound, and the Central Asian Alibi. The Alibi episode has already gained over 3 million views, so check it out as well. I'm sure you'll like it. Links are in the description and video suggestions. If you enjoyed this video, please support it with a like and share it. Wishing you happiness. Subscribe to the channel. It's interesting with us.